We get probably my favorite sound effect of the series in this week's reimagining of Season 0, Chapter 7. The listen along continues, I cut off part of my finger, and we get a question about Edara's holidays. All that and more in this week's episode of TABTA, but first, a message to our Heroes of Edara. Hey there, this is Colin, creator of the 7th Valkyrie. If you're hearing this, it means you're listening to the public version of TABTA. And I really appreciate that. It keeps the algorithm happy. It keeps us growing. But if you want to get a little fun personal message every week with behind-the-scenes stories, funny little bits, other insight into the creative process, you can hop over to our Patreon and become a Hero of Edara. You'll support the series, you can shape the future of the 7th Valkyrie, and find a whole lot of fun bonus content along the way. You can get started completely for free, and then if you decide you want to chip in and get bonus content, early access, and a whole lot more and help us along the path of heroes towards a whole lot of cool checkpoints, then you can do that. It's patreon.com/7th Valkyrie, that's 7THVALKYRIE, and give it a look. With that, on into the show. Hey everyone, and welcome to TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure for the 7th Valkyrie, where we watch one series go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie. Or maybe we just find the power of friendship along the way. I'm your host, Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the 7th Valkyrie, and it is great to have you listening. First, let's cover the week in 7th V content. Now, on Wednesday, we have the reimagining of Season 0, Chapter 7, Ghost in the Flames Part 2, dropping for everybody. Heroes, you've got this already, and you will know that this chapter is where it all kicks off for Season 0. And this second part of the chapter has maybe my favorite bit of sound work we've experienced in the series so far. I'll let you public listeners get to it, but it's just wow. Friday, we'll have the accompanying episode of the 7th V Listen Along, where I'll talk about how much I love it. And yeah, that's what you guys have got coming up this week. Public listeners, obviously, and then Heroes, you guys are all ahead of schedule. As for what's going on with 7th Valkyrie production and business, I'm still buzzing because last week we finished up the full reimagining of Season 0. So if you're a Hero of Edara, you can see the fully reimagined season, or you can listen to the fully reimagined season now. And if you're a public listener, you can do that either by becoming a Patreon member or waiting until January 16th, which is when the epilogue will drop. We're working our way there. As for what's going on with me, I told you guys earlier, but I cut off a big chunk of the tip of my finger while slicing bread. So I wrote this script with a weird combination of claw hands, and I'm gesturing way less intensely in the booth. Rest assured, it will be fine and it will heal, which is great because it was like a Skittle-sized portion of my left pointer finger. But, man, I am glad I had my boy Kevin. He's been a kitchen supervisor, kind of like he works with like a creative chef to like actually execute their vision, and was like, well, this sucks and the process of fixing this is going to hurt you, but we will heal you. And with plenty of disinfectant and yelps and band-aids and gauze and eventually a trip to urgent care the next day to make sure we got it all right, we're back on the right path. I will say this is very annoying. Speaking of some less annoying things, though, work is going well, my internal health is in good order, my cat is adorable, and my family is safe. So we're keeping things positive. And speaking of positive things, I actually wanted to get into this week's Q&A. So our question today comes from Dark Wumpus, who asks, what's the best holiday to celebrate around Edara? And I think that was actually a great question as the holidays are coming up. I can see why you asked that. I would say the Winter Festival in Reen, which we experienced in Season 2, is one option and is probably the most diverse example. I know Dark Wumpus and I know what they would like from a festival. And the big collision of cultures and gifts at the Reen Winter Festival will probably be it. But in terms of sheer size and decadence, it would absolutely be the Edaran Heroes Day, which was already a tradition in Edara prior to the war, but got moved to the anniversary of the victory at Heaven's Gate, and is now absolutely massive. It is their big holiday. And we see the aftermath of the Sunsettin version early in Season 0 when we arrive in Sunsettin. And if we make it around the calendar for a full year, it's likely we may get to see the rumblings of it happening again. So thanks for asking, Dark Wumpus. Anyway, for all you guys out there, if you've got a question for me that you'd like to hear answered, leave a comment, and I'll check before next week. In the meantime, stay tuned for upcoming releases, Wednesday and Friday and Monday, with the hero versions already available ahead of schedule. And in the meantime, take care, guys. I will be sending you a ton of love. Ciao.